like to talk a little bit about growing up Irish Catholic in the 1950s and 60s on the south side of Chicago. So I want to start by asking, do we have any Catholics or maybe recovering Catholics in the crowd? Any? Ooh, nice. We got a few. Good. Now, any specific Irish Catholic backgrounds? Anybody? Oh, we got one lady here. Oh, she brought her rosary beads. Yes, there we go. She is Irish Catholic.
Begora. You have to have your rosary beads with you.
Ma'am. Yes. Actually, she's my cousin. She's a And those are my rosary beads. They were on my Buddha statue. I had to take them off. Anyway, so seriously. Okay, now one of the most important things about growing up Irish Catholic, if you're Irish Catholic, you know this. It's an unwritten rule, but you have to have at least one close relation who's a nun, and preferably one that's a priest too. So what I want to do is illustrate how this worked in my family. So my maternal grandparents, Henry and Ellen, they came over from the old country, and they brought along with them 9 kids. There were actually 11, but they left 2 back there.
There were 12.
So my mother was number 8. And so in our immediate family, we had Sister Mary Magdalene, my aunt the nun. We had Sister Marie Bernadette, my cousin the nun. So this is pretty good. In an Irish Catholic family, we call this a double header. But some of you might be saying, but Dorothy, where's your priest? Okay, I got it covered. I heard that over there. Someone was asking. We also had Father John Carlson back in Ireland, my mother's first cousin. So now we've got 2 nuns and 1 priest. So in an Irish Catholic family, this is winning the Irish Catholic trifecta. But there's more. Okay, now for this one, I need you guys to kind of do a little drum roll. This is big. This is really big. Now, some of you might be saying, oh, you had a pope or something, but now there's no Irish popes. Okay, it's big. Okay, here it comes. You ready? You guys ready? Okay. My mother was a nun.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, some people last night when I was rehearsing thought I made this shit stuff. No, it's true. Mother was in the convent for 17 long years, and she came out and had me, 2 other kids in her 40s, Anyway, you might be thinking, wow, now we got 2 nuns, 1 priest. What kind of configuration is that? Well, I would say it's the Irish Catholic full house. Okay, now there is one more little wrinkle I'm going to tell you about. And that is my mother, the nun, hooked up with my birth father, who came over from Ireland to Chicago. And now some of you might be saying, well, Dorothy, was he a priest? Makes sense. He was nun's priest. No, nothing like that. He was in the IRA, and he was just over in Chicago doing some guns and money for the IRA and stuff, but we don't talk much about that. But back in Ireland, we have my 2 first cousins on his side, a nun and a priest. So let's see, we're up to how many nuns? 4? Yeah, 4 nuns and 2 priests. Now, some of you might be saying, my God, Dorothy, what do we call this kind of configuration? Yeah, I don't know, but I'll tell you what I call it. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Holy Mary, Mother of God. Saints preserve us. Okay, so that's enough about the nuns and priests. There's a little more. Okay, now the other thing in an Irish Catholic family, and I know we have a few of you Irish Catholics out there, former anyway, you got pictures of Jesus in every room, right? Right. This was our living room picture. Jesus, not looking real happy because we know what was going to happen the next day. He was going to die on the cross. And that was over the TV, and it was like 4 foot by 3 foot, not a little picture. And so the Irish Catholics are really big on crosses, and we have them in every room too. And we don't like those little sanitized crosses. We like the blood. And sorry, but we like the suffering and the death, and the guilt. It's kind of like our Jewish friends, that whole guilt thing. So anyway, this was one of the crosses we had. And now moving on to the dining room, it was a little nicer scene. We had the Last Supper. Jesus out there partying with all his friends, drinking some wine. Oh, and that's another thing about the Irish Catholics. No problem with the alcohol. Even my aunts, the nuns, they're, knocking back the whiskey. And But now, the thing is, this was the last supper. So see, again, we all know what happens the next day. And, there's always this emphasis on the suffering. So, now my favorite picture of Jesus is this one. I liked it because it was kind of dramatic. You've got the disciples in the boat, and they're about to capsize. They're on the Sea of Galilee fishing, and this is the storm of the century. And there's Jesus, just cool as a cucumber, walking on water. And he's got his arm outstretched to them as if to say, chill, I got you covered, dudes. Now, the thing about this one, it was in the bathroom above the toilet. And, I thought about this, and I thought, well, it was kind of a nice touch on my mother's part because, you're a little kid, you're toilet training. What are you scared of? Just like the disciples falling in and drowning. And there's Jesus. Chill, kids. I got you covered. No problem. So anyway. Now, another favorite in an Irish Catholic household is the BVM. Now, some of you, and it has nothing to do with bowel movements. If you're not up in your Catholic lingo, that's the Blessed Virgin Mary. And we had statues, we had pictures, holy cards of Mary, and she was held up to us little Irish Catholic girls as the pinnacle of womanhood, virgin. We were all aspiring nuns, celibate nuns. So, Mary was our role model. Well, some of our role models. And the other thing I want to tell you about is the saints. Oh, Saint Segar. In an Irish Catholic household, my God, we had all these saints and statues and holy cards. And, my mother, the nun, was on a first-name basis with at least a dozen of them. Now, let me tell you about Mother's favorite saint. Here he is, Tony. Tony is St. Anthony. He is the saint that finds you stuff. And I always wonder about St. Anthony or Tony. He's always pictured with baby Jesus. Every statue, every picture you see. I've got a theory. I think that Mary and Joseph, they were, out partying one night, maybe having a couple glasses of wine, and they left him, baby Jesus, maybe in a strange manger or in a field somewhere, and St. Anthony probably found him. So that's how he got the rep as the guy that finds you stuff. So my mother, she would pray to Tony, and here's how her prayer went. Oh, Tony, Tony, I've lost my glasses again, Tony. Can you find them for me? I'll put $1 in the collection plate on Sunday. Now, $1 went a long way in the 50s. And we were kind of poor. But Tony would find them. There would be the glasses. Uncanny. So, I have a confession I have to make to you guys. Can I be frank with you? Is it okay? Well, I'm a member here at CSL, and I consider myself a pretty progressive spiritual thinker. But I, too, am on a first-name basis with Tony. Now, this is another true story. A week or two ago, I was at the dog park with my 3 dogs, and I could not find my keys anywhere. I walked that whole dog park. It was hot. The dogs were panting. They want to go home, and I'm like, oh, no keys. What do I do? All of a sudden, it occurred to me, I'm on a first-name basis with Tony. So my prayer went something like this: Tony, Tony, I can't find my keys. I'm desperate. I'll put $20 in the plate on Sunday at CSL. I opened my purse and I looked through it 3 or 4 times. There were my keys. So anyway, what I want to encourage all of you is try Tony. I don't think Reverend Jim will mind an extra few 20s in the plate on Sunday. And you might be saying, Dorothy, but he's a Catholic saint. I don't think Tony cares. If you're giving the money to a good cause, he's cool with it. So try Tony. All right, now I have a lot more, but I'm going to save it for another time. I just want to leave you with this lovely Irish blessing. May the Irish hills caress you. May her lakes and rivers bless you. May the luck of the Irish enfold you. May the blessings of St. Patrick behold you. And may you be in heaven a full half hour before the devil knows you're dead. All right, thank you guys.